Okay. Good evening everyone. Welcome to Daily News Analysis by Tathastu ICS. Okay, so today we are going to see certain topics which is related to UPSC, right? Okay, good evening Venkatri. I'm good. How are you? How are you all doing? All good? Okay. I think this PDF will be uploaded. Hi Ekta, good evening. Okay. So this PDF will be attached in the description box. Okay. And you will get this PDF in the Telegram channel also. By scanning this QR code, you can join the Telegram channel and you can get the PDFs. ठीक है? चलिए, अभी सबका preparation तो अच्छा होंगे ना? Like everybody's preparation is going good, right? ठीक है. चलो, let's start. Do we have the pen? Okay. First one is about 10th schedule, which is about the anti-defection law, right? So recently certain members from one political party, which is Aam Aadmi, they have shifted their interest towards the another party, right? So the party name and everything is not necessary for us, but instead what we are going to see, like what is good. Ekta, you are giving the test series. Yes, you are appearing for 2026, I guess, right? So keep giving the test series and also like go more for PYQ based revision. Okay, reverse engineering kar lena, that will be helpful at this time more often. Okay, rather than studying something new, you can go for better one, which is the PYQ based reverse engineering. Okay, okay. MPs, yes. So recently they have moved, right? So we are not going to talk about what party and everything, what is the issue, but instead we are just going to focus on the static part. Okay, good. So it is again, as we all know, it is important for us in the GS2 paper, where is the polity. Okay, so in this concern we can get the prelims based question on 10th schedule and also mains based question, how this anti-defection law will be having a balancing power for smooth governance. And also, yes ma'am, I'm fine presenting, giving marks. Very good. All the best for you all. Who and all is going to appear for 2026. All the best for everybody. Okay. The same advice goes for you as well. Go for PYQ based reverse engineering. Okay, na? Okay. So for the mains perspective, how we are going to focus, like how it is balancing the anti-defection law and all these like procedures, how it is going to give a balancing and a smooth governance in India. Okay? Then the second one is about the free trade agreement today, which have been signed between India and New Zealand. We are just going to see a crisp details about like what are all the areas that they will be focusing and what kind of a tariff, like from where we have gone to net zero tariff levels. So all these things we are going to see in this very crisp one. And the third one is about, okay, it is important for us in two certain things. One is economy based. You can use this data FTAs are more often, and you can use these data in the economical terms, okay, when it comes to the GS3 paper, and also the foreign diplomacy ideas. Okay, then third one is about right to safe travel. Here along with in article 21, one more thing have been added, okay, which is right to safe travel. Okay, we will be seeing what is the exact what is the exact meaning of right to safe travel, and also what are all the components that the Supreme Court have given the guidelines. Okay, so in that case we are going to see it in again GS2, because Supreme Court have directly involved in this. It is not about Supreme Court, it is about the governance and also the infrastructural gaps where we are focusing on this area. Okay, then the fourth one is about the summer shock for gig workers. So this summer and the heat waves, how it is going to affect on gig workers and the platform workers. Okay, so it is in this editorial they have given like what are all the basic issue that they are facing and what can be done further. Okay, so in GS2 paper, because this article, this editorial is basically saying that it is not only about the health issues or the health risk, it is more than that, it is even further, which is like kind of a economical crisis also. Okay, so when when it comes to this economic terms, you might think it is supposed to be in the GS3 paper, right? But why it is in GS2 paper? Because see, it is interdependent. In GS2, we are just going to see the mechanisms and what are all the governance steps that we can take to prevent this loss of income for these gig workers. Okay? And the last one is about the AI in water resilience. So from AI is being used for information or a data collection. From there we have moved upon to where the resolution, the solution based and also the understanding based things. Okay? So again, AI, so this will be helpful for us in the GS3 paper, science and tech. Okay, this is in the part of science when it comes to the newspaper. Okay, at the last page. Okay, so this is what we are going to discuss for today. Let's go for the topics one by one. Okay, first one is about disqualify 7 defecting MPs. Okay, so you know the recent issue, what is happening, right? So certain MPs, they have shifted their interest towards their political party. Okay? Gig workers means delivery men. Not exactly them only. Gig workers are like delivery people like Zomato, okay, Swiggy, or other Amazon workers, Flipkart workers. So these kind of delivery partners, delivery workers are one of a kind of gig workers. Okay? So gig workers we will be seeing in the article in detail, but here also I will tell you, like, gig workers are people who work on a task based things. Okay? So there will be flexibility, will be more for them, like kind of a freelancing. Okay, there is no fixed time for you, there is no fixed things for you. Okay? So flexible based, like task based works they will be doing. Okay? Okay, so when it comes to the first one, so the defection. Okay? So in 10th schedule in 52nd Constitutional Amendment Act in 1985, it have been added, okay, through the Parliament, anti-defection law. So what is the major aim of it? So the major aim of this anti-defection law is to, like, prevent people from skipping from one party to another, so that there will be a balance and also there will be a smooth governance in the conduction. Okay? So this is the major thing of the anti-defection law. Okay, so here if you see in the 10th schedule, okay, so we are just going to see what are the grounds of disqualification first. So we all got to know what is anti-defection law. If any member, okay, if any MP, be it Rajya Sabha or the Lok Sabha, okay, so if any of a member is shifting their parties post election or during the government period, okay, tentative government period, so they will be disqualified under certain conditions. Okay? The first one is about voluntary resignation. So if anybody, like if I am a member in either of the house, be it Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha, okay? So if I don't want to continue my membership or the membership in the Parliament, I will be voluntarily resigning. So based upon the anti-defection law, I will be disqualified. First thing. And second thing is about the defying whip. So here, if your party, okay, I belong to ABC party and my party told me, like, see, for this bill you have to vote, okay, be it any money bill or something, whatever the bill is. Okay, so for this bill, if I am directed by my party to vote for, okay, and if I have restrained my vote, I neither voted, or else if I said like opposite, like no, I am against this bill. So if that kind of a contradictory between the member, okay, and the party, so in that case, as a opposite, like by opposing my party's opinion, I will be disqualified. This is first thing. Okay, then about the independent or nominated member joins political party. मान लीजिए एक independent candidate, okay, he stood in a constituency and he got elected and he or she get into the Parliament, right? So after getting into the Parliament, if any of any influential or any kind of things that influenced him or her, and okay, So okay, so if they are like shifted to another party, okay, so that time if they got along with any other party, at that time they will be disqualified from the parliament, because the people elected for that particular candidate based upon that particular candidate's personality and the ideologies, right? So if that have been changed, if he or she have been shifted to any other party, then there is no point, right? So in that case they will be, the independent member will be disqualified. And when it comes to the nominated member, okay, so anyhow the nominated member, either they will be out of the political party or one particular political party will be nominated them, right? Everybody would have accepted. So if that particular person have joined any other party, at that time also even the nominated nominated member will be considered as a disqualified member when they have, good evening Dipesh, when they have joined any other political party. Okay? So these are the major grounds of disqualification under anti-defection law. So if there is anything, there must be definitely what, an exemption also, right? So absolute and the rigid kind of laws will not work for a longer time, right? So even for the fundamental rights we have some exemptions, right? So the same kind of things applies for here also. There is some exemptions. Let's see one by one. First one is like if any party, okay, any party would like to merge with another party, okay, so if there is like two-thirds of the party people are willing to shift to the merging party, so then it is okay. Okay, so if ABC is there, XYZ party is there, okay, ABC party and also XYZ party is here. So these two people are coming into the consideration of merging their party, okay. So in that case, if two-thirds of members from XYZ party, if they are shifting towards the ABC party, already they are in the merging condition, right? So almost we can see it as a one particular party. So if two-thirds of the party members have joined here, so it is not considered as a disqualifying mechanism. They have the exemption. Okay? And when it comes to the speaker, generally speaker will be common for being the neutrality. He will be there. So if a speaker wants to give up on his political party member, and if he wants to be the speaker, it is obviously possible. It is exemption for the speaker. Okay? Case has turned the anti-defection law into a constitutional debate about whether merger is being misused to legally justify defections. So see, yeah, it is right, because see, merger comes when two head of the political parties have to be decided, then two-thirds of the people have to be moved, right? Then it is exemption. But when it comes to like only two-thirds people of the parties are going to merge with, joining somebody else, it is not kind of a merger, rather than it is kind of like, how you will say, it is mostly of like complete, it is about people who have shifted, it is not about merging the parties. Okay? So that is little controversial. Let them settle down. Let's see. Okay? Okay. So this is what the exemptions as well. So keeping that in mind, so state and the parliament, okay, they can set their own rules for this anti-defection cases handling. So if I want to, like, the rules they can set to till this extent, they can shift the exemptions, be it the exemptions or any other things, the rules can be set between the legislature and also the parliament. Okay, they have that flexibility, and no court can question, okay, about this, the anti-defection law which has been proposed to other members. Okay, so they cannot take the shadow area of jurisdiction here. Okay, then the speaker or the chairman has the discretionary. Okay, they have the authority to say that, like, whether they can continue or not. Okay, so that decision is final. If the speaker of the Lok Sabha or the chairman of the Rajya Sabha have decided like कि उन्होंने abstain करना है parliament से, नहीं तो if they wanted to like continue, then that decision is final. ठीक है, so there is no, you cannot go for the court for any appeal or something, and this is the final verdict. The speaker's or the chairman's decision would be the final verdict as well. ठीक है, so this is what we wanted from this article, the static part. ठीक है, and also read about, okay, article okay, there are certain clause have been given, so you can read that also. Okay, then moving on, let's go to the free trade agreement. We all know what is free trade agreement between two countries. If there is any export is being carried, so generally the exporters, okay, have to pay the tariffs, right? So if India is exporting rice to New Zealand or US, India is supposed to pay the tax so that they will be taking it. At the same time, if we are importing what, if we are importing certain like automobiles or something, we have to they have to pay as the import, because we are giving our market, right? So we should take the share of it, obviously, right? So when there is a particular product is being sold, this commodities price will be going to that particular company, but being the mediatory for those things, we have to give the taxes, which is tariffs, right, in terms of export and import, right? So now we have moved towards what, this free trade agreement. In the recent times, in 2026, we have seen 2-3 free trade agreements, right, with be it with Malaysia or certain countries also like EU, and everywhere we are moving towards free trade agreement, where if there is in future, if we are having any conflicts, the tariff burden should not be coming on us, right? So even if there is any dispute between those two countries, or if there is any misunderstandings, at that time the tariff should not be the major thing that is imposed, that should not be a play tool. And also this free trade agreements will be helping us to have a more of economical benefits as well, right? So your currency will not be moving out, the dollars, the forex that you have will be having there. So instead, in a return, what we are giving, we are exchanging the markets. So keeping financial terms one side, financial loss like the forex will not be gone from your hand. Instead, you are going to exchange your markets. Both the countries will be get benefited. Okay? So it's a win-win situation, free trade agreement. So we will be seeing one by one. So with New Zealand, what we have did, we today in the morning we have signed for the free trade agreement. So we will be seeing how is the earlier condition and how it is going to benefit India first. So this removes 100% tariff, where India will be exporting certain things, right? So we don't want to pay any tariff. So it is completely 100% of the tariffs have been removed for India. Okay? So we will not be paying any export duties or the tariffs to New Zealand. Okay? But when it comes to New Zealand, okay, so New Zealand's export to India, right? So India imports certain things from New Zealand. So for them, 95% have been waived. Okay, so they don't want to pay for the 95% of their goods. Just 5% of the tariff will be applied here for the time being. Okay, so India's export value with New Zealand, it is around like 32.1%, which is nearly, okay, so $711.1 million. So it is such a huge one. So when it comes to the 2024 to 25, it is around 32.1%. It is expecting that even it will be going further. So when the heavy exports, okay, if I am paying the tariffs around like 10-15% also, you can keep it. So a lump sum amount is going for New Zealand. Instead, if when I sign this FTA, what I will be getting, I will be getting the market from there, and I will be having a, I don't want to pay that forex for those export duties, right? So this is a major thing. So this heavy export will be having benefit of 0% tariff. Okay, so my money will be saved here, and also the New Zealand's export to India, it is around like 75.2%. So this tariff waiver will be helping India to move from 32% to increased performances. Okay, so I will be exporting more to New Zealand, and also I will be getting further products, new products or new some commodities from New Zealand also. So my market is also open to New Zealand, and vice versa, it is open for each other. Okay, so earlier it was 10% the tariff. Now in 2025, in the recent times, it is around 2.2%. Eventually after this FTA, it will be around 0% for India. Okay, because India has a tariff waiver of 100%, but New Zealand, we are keeping the buffer of 5% for time being. Eventually that will also coming to 0%. So if you see, okay, we are exporting things and they are also exporting the things for India, right? So what are all the things that we have to keep in mind? Because see, giving the market, it is not such a small thing. We have to keep that in mind, where our domestic products, our domestic people have, the producers should not get affected, right? So keeping in that mind, we got the lesson from EU, if you remember. Okay? So with the EU FTA, what we did, EU actually segregated certain like the areas like sugar, okay, wherever there the farmers are being highly benefited, okay, the dairy products. So all those sectors have been protected. So from that lesson, with New Zealand, we have earlierly bifurcated that. So India will be protecting its own dairy products, where our cooperatives like Amul, okay, and also the rural income will be protected. Apart from that, the farmers, okay, and the dairy sector will be having their protected areas in the domestic, because see, New Zealand is having such a dairy products varieties, and also they are much cheaper. Okay, so if that infiltrates in when those products comes to India, our rural income will be going down. So we have protected our dairy sector. Okay, first thing. Second thing is about the agricultural products like certain pulses and everything. Okay, if you see, like when it comes to the dairy products, milk, cream, whey, yogurt, cheese, all these things are been protected. Okay, apart from that, the vegetables, which is agricultural products, right, the onions, chana, peas, corn and almonds, so all these things are artificial honey, and all these things are been protected. Along with that, sugar, gems and jewelry, even in EU we have had this. Okay, and also the metals like copper and aluminium, also oils and fats. So these are the things that have been, these are the sectors that have been protected for India. If you see certain things, okay, the benefiting sectors, okay, so are growing sectors like textiles and apparel. We know India is exporting larger leather products, and also we have, so because of this free trade agreement, these are the areas, these are the sectors that are getting benefited. So we will be exporting more textiles and apparel, leather and ceramics, headgears, carpets, okay, automobiles and auto components. So these are the things, sectors who is getting benefited because of this free trade agreement. So if you see how it is, because majorly textiles and apparels and also these leather are kind of MSMEs, okay. So there will be employment generation also, right, and apart from that, there will be Indian manufacturers will be having higher opportunity to go with these products, right. The Indian manufacturers can export larger amount, and also the MSMEs will be growing. First thing, our domestic sectors, the strong sectors have been protected, and also we are having the beneficial areas as well. India exports to New Zealand covering 8,284 products, including textile, leather, footwear and engineering goods, right. Okay, so that is what we have discussed here. So see, we should not be stopped here by just signing the FTA. We have to even seek more things from them, taking the technology from there, and what are all the various area that we can learn from other countries, where we can work on that and we can give those service based exports, or we can go for new like the semiconductors that we have talked in the Malaysian case, right? So these kind of things we have to learn from them, and we have to produce our stuffs and we have to exporting to different other countries. We should not affect on the domestic like domestic market should not be affected for them. Instead, learning from New Zealand, learning from Malaysia, we have to implement on, we have to export on some other countries like Somalia or any other African countries. Okay, so where we will be getting more recognition, and also we would be able to get market as well. Okay, so this is the major thing, the crux that is important from this article. Okay, so by the evening, most probably this will be continuing in your next session also, most probably tomorrow. Okay, we will be seeing from PIB, you can read. Okay, PIB, they would have been given this information in detail, what have exactly discussed and what have been agreed for. So these things, for the exact precise details, you have to visit PIB today. Okay, then right to safe travel on highways. So if you see article 21, right to life, okay, so it has been completely extended, right? It is not one time or twice, it have been extended for multiple times whenever the human lifestyle has been changed. Okay, right to privacy, when the digital era have been boomed, right? So it is not one particular time it has been altered. It is like, it is based upon the evaluation, it is keep on adding upon, right? So if you see how fundamental rights are flexible enough to adapt the current situations, and at the same time it is not that easy to change all those things. So this we have to keep it in mind. So keep right to life, basically what? Right to life, you have to have a proper settlement for your life, right? So basic food and everything, you should have a basic livelihood experiences, right? So these things are very much mandatory. So without this, a human cannot have a livelihood. So that is the core aspect of this right to life, right? So one of the major thing that we have added in the privacy is from Puttaswamy case versus Union of India, where the article 21 have been added to right to privacy, and also livelihood in Olga Telles versus Mumbai Corporation, right? These are the cases that you can just have for the references, but Puttaswamy case is very much important. Okay? Then later on we have added for the dignity. Okay, in that right to dignity, die with dignity also have been added, where it comes to remember, connect it. Okay, passive euthanasia, where we talked about the right to die with dignity, right? And also, so the reproductive choice for women, and also education, where they have separately made a subclause 21A. Why रोशनी अब भी अपेक्स कोर्ट का रेफरेंसेस आ रहा है यहाँ पर, जस्ट चेक विद इट. ठीक है, सो okay, so legal aid and speedy trial, this is also because sometimes the we used to say, no, the justice delayed is justice denied. So if there is no speedy trial, and if I have been accused with something, okay, murder case or any other case, okay, if I am not the real convict, okay, but still based on the suspension I was given for the trial, and if there is no, like, if I am not able to go for the any legal aid, even the government can give me the free legal aid, right, to save my side. So that legal aid and the speedy trial, immediate, like as soon as possible, that there should be at least the investigation have to be started, right? So these are all comes under what? The life of the right to life. Okay. So now along with this, okay, one more thing have been added, that is safe travel. So why this have came here? Because if you see, there is in a report, 2% of India's roads having the composition of national highways have only 2% of the Indian roads. Okay, other roads are like the district connectivity roads, and all these things are composing lot. but the death cases, the road deaths are majorly like 30% is happening in the highways. So if you see the highway construction, there is no proper guidance like for the work is under the progress, and all these kind of indications are not been properly given. Okay, there is a lot of black spots where the people actually hiding, and dacoit is also happening, right? The robbery is also happening, lots of accidents because of the no proper signals there. Okay, so all these things are happening, so that is showing that okay, nearly 30% of the road deaths are from national highways. So for mandating this, it is important because it is one of the governance gaps. So policy gap is here. So if there is any like so now Supreme Court have came for with the suo motu appeal. Okay, that see your national highways and the state have to be taken care of this particular thing. So where okay. So where they have, the Supreme Court have guided that the black spots have to be taken off. Okay, this have to be removed, and other than that illegal parking have to be eliminated, where you can like in a bay, the parking bays have to be clearly mentioned. And the road rules, if you see in India, it is very critical, like it is not that difficult to follow, but people are not following. If you see in the traffic jam, okay, if there is a red signal, people cannot even wait for 2 minutes, they will be like taking the platforms to go forward, right? So there is certain things that we have to keep in mind. The pathway and the parking bays, everything has to be maintained, and these have to be used properly. You cannot bifurcate and you cannot just bypass and go, right? So these are the things that they have proposed. So illegal parkings have to be removed, okay, and unsafe constructions, where if there is any the flyovers or the layovers are being constructed, so at that time they have to be redirected instead of asking them to go in that particular way only. Okay, so this unsafe constructions have to be taken care, and the poor road management have to be made properly. Okay, so like poor road management is if there is any high pit, okay, and if there is no proper signals, okay, when the bend and all the rear mirrors have to be kept. So all these things have to be followed. So these are the things that that Supreme Court have suggested to keep the safe environment when it comes to the roads. Okay. 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 This one Roshni Apex Court is about Supreme Court. Yeah, it is. Okay. So other than that, nothing from this, just read about it. Okay, what are the guidelines they have given? Then we will be moving to the next one, which is summer as a source of income shock for gig workers. So again, if you remember this 10th class, and I just want a tip regarding what I want to ask, how to do focus study. Okay, after this completing the topics, we will be talking about that. Okay. Then starting with the gig workers. Okay, so initially the doubt has came, right? Who is gig workers? So gig workers are basically who earns through flexible or temporary or project based things. Okay, so project based or task based things will be given to them, they will be earning towards from that kind of task. So they are basically gig workers. Example, as our one of a member who have told, since people working through apps like Zomato, Swiggy, Uber, because no fixed salary, they work like paid per task. Exactly. So task based, project based, okay, there will be flexibility in their timings, and also there will be flexibility for their like the remuneration, the earnings will be based upon their work only. There is no fixed income for them. Okay, so this, and it is one of the things like it is basically temporary. There is no permanent settle, like there is no permanent office for you, there is no permanent time shift for you. Okay, So whenever you wanted to, you can do it immediately, you can register and you can come out as easy as registration as well. Okay? So this is the major thing. So example, platform workers, casual workers, where are delivery partners comes under. Okay? So you cannot keep one particular workers alone as a gig workers. Gig workers are even more further. Okay? So this article is completely talking about heat waves are nowadays frequent, like every summer is getting the heat waves and the health risk, right? So this time is India is actually ready for facing this heat waves or not. So there are a lot of mechanisms that have been proposed by Indian government, and we are also following that. Okay, most of work from homes and everything, but are we really having an inclusive plan, or are we having any inclusive mechanisms for all the workers? If you see, the very rarely these kind of things have been designed for whom? The gig workers, platform workers especially. Okay? So why it is so? We will be seeing one by one. Okay? So the first thing is about they don't have proper particular setup for the office. Obviously their nature of the workers is to roam around, right? So they will be keep on traveling, they will be keep on delivering. So it is basically upon what their work hours basically in the outdoors only. So the preventive mechanisms or the measures that taken by the Indian government so far is very rarely fitting to the working nature of gig workers. So that is the major concern that have been given here. Okay? So as policy makers review preparedness measures before peak summer arrives, there is one group which remains largely absent from the adaptation conversation, that is gig workers and the delivery workers. Okay? So we will be seeing why this statement have been given. Before that, the data point here it is telling about in 2020 to 21, where the highest, like we have given like different economical conditions after COVID, right? So that time the delivery partners were this kind of the Swiggy, Zomato, these platforms, digital platforms have been arose, and majorly the urban cities are depend upon these kind of delivery partners right now. So if you see the data, Niti Aayog have given the data of like 7.7 million gig workers are working in 2020 to 21, and it is expected to growing towards 23 million by 2029 to 30. Okay? So it is not a small number, it is a vast large number. If you see students who are studying in college, post their college, they are coming for these works. Okay? And additional work also, like people who are working in the day shift, they are for the additional income, they are also going for these gig workers based things, because there is no particular time, right? According to your flexibility you can go for it. So these kind of areas, like where the major of the youth and the labor has been nowadays working upon these gig workers based things, right? So now if you see their health risk, it is very high, where heat waves intensifies, this growing workforce will be among the most climate exposed and least protected. So here if you see the issue, they are being more exposed to this harsh climate, and also they are being least protected as well. So what will be happening here, because the productivity will be going down if I am keep on like exposed to sun and everything. First thing, I will be dehydrated, I will not be having the energy to do further things, so my productivity will go down. If my productivity is going down, like not only me, 10 and 100 and thousands of people are facing the same thing. Okay, if there is no particular shaded area for me, resting area is not there. Okay, first thing, I don't have resting area. Okay, first thing. Second thing, I will not be having the water facilities, so I will be going with the dehydration, and also there won't be any, like at times people used to order food and everything at a peak hours, right? So at that time, in the peak summers, it is not feasible for every people to retain their energy. So by that way, my productivity will be going down. So if my productivity and thousands of people's productivity goes down, okay, the consumption of the service will go down. So the earnings of an individual also will go down. Okay. Okay, and also this will be leading towards the depreciation of economy as well, because if you see 93 million people expected to work in gig workers, so their incentives and the salaries, it is a huge part of India's economy, right? So if that has been going down, the urban earnings are going down, then it shows actually there is a downfall in the economy as well. So it is not only no longer only health issues when it comes to the heat waves, it is more than that, which is the economic crisis as well, in the individual level, also in the zonal level as well. Okay, so this is a major concern that is being given here. Okay, said that this health risk of the consideration of the heat waves as a health risk, here they are saying that see, it is not only about the health risk, it is also the labor impact also there. Okay, the crisis for labor is also there. Along with that, the heat and the heat waves are the summers, the extreme summers, and the weather is considered as a major of what, the natural disaster. Okay, so but considering this natural disaster, the vending machines for water bottles are being kept. Okay, that is well and good, and certain preventive measures also have been taken place. But what about the implementation, where the necessary people have to be get benefited, they are not coming into this design, right? So that is the major issue that we are going to discuss here. Okay, so this we have discussed, right, which is Niti Aayog have given the data, like right now 7.7 million workers are working under this gig workers. Eventually they will be growing towards 23 million as expected. Okay, so issue here it is not only health risk, also economic crisis that we have talked about, the individual level and also the zonal level. Okay, so when it comes to this, right now either I have to focus on my health or else I have to focus on my earnings. What if I am a breadwinner for my family and I am not able to perform my task? Okay, and because of that my earnings is go down, my whole family economical condition will go down, and for that cost I cannot give up on my health as well. So now these heat waves for gig workers, it is giving a health versus economical crisis. Okay, so that is what the major thing they have discussed. Then moving on. Okay, so we will be seeing one by one for this. Okay, heat cut earnings, where the higher, which we have discussed, the higher heat exposed time. Okay, so if I am working mid of 12 p.m. to 3 p.m., that is the peak summers, right? So at that time, if I am not able to go for work, or if I am not able to go with that energy to perform my task what I have planned for today, okay, so the logging off for a few hours means immediate income loss. So that time, if I am like going out of this time, like from 12 to 3, I will be losing lot of orders, and eventually what will be happening, I will not be getting the income that I am supposed to get it from that area, right? Now also increases the risk of dehydration, heat exhaustion, and also longer term health stress, where the migraines will come, the heat strokes will be hitting your neural system and everything, right? So that is the major thing. Okay, moving. So here if you see about one more thing, which is the gender pressure, where women, think about women gig workers. Okay, so their shading area, okay, and also their restrooms, the water availability. So along with their households, they are taking this like economical burden also, and apart from that they have to go with another add-on problem, which is this heat waves. So we will be seeing one by one. Okay, so if you see the heat as a health risk, okay, here measures measures have taken like heat action plans, warning systems, emergency measures. All these are like those who are planning for work from home. Okay. So already if I am giving you the from this time to this time heat waves will be at this level and the degrees will be this level. So please prevent, like stay indoors, don't go outdoor. But when it comes to these kind of workers, okay, the problem here is the nature of work is in the outdoors and they are not able to perform it. So that is a major thing. So these kind of measures are not actually inclusive for those gig workers, first thing. And second thing, the temporary drinking water kiosks have been given, but still there is no proper, it is not very frequent, the urban planning is not along with these, okay. And the shaded rest areas have to be provided, but it is very rarely. Even if you see like the hotels and the restaurants, they will be having very bad habits that the delivery partners have to stay out of the restaurant. At least they can give them a chair, okay, unless and until the food is being prepared, they can give an environment where they can sit, they can rest, okay. See the harsh weather, they can, not everybody can adapt to it, right. So at that time we have to given the rest areas also, not only the outside, even the restaurants can give them the area to sit and rest, right, but that has not been given right now, okay. So this also have to be taken care. And the cooling centers where they can sit, they can take some rest, okay. So these kind of setups have to be improved when it comes to the urban circles, okay. And okay, so the impact on gig workers will be like as we have seen there, okay. If there is low, if I have skipping my shift or any other particular peak time, I will be eventually losing my income, and also it will be exposing to these heat waves and everything, it will be affecting my health. And labor issue where it is talking about the economical terms. There is no proper mechanism for us, how much ever you loss bring, how much ever the obligations that you bring up, okay, that doesn't matter unless and until you work for the grassroots level needings, okay. So this is has to be this consideration, this peak summers have to be considered as a like heat waves has to be considered as what, the labor issues along with the health and climate issues, okay. So along with this we have to consider it as a labor issue as well. Work load on women, that we have discussed earlier, okay. So if you see what are all the solutions that they can given, okay, one is labor productivity issue where for hydrating people, okay, you can give certain facilities, okay, resting areas, waters, okay. Also you can give the policies, like you can give the guidelines for the restaurants that from this area, like you have to give certain areas to for them to sit and rest, and until their, at least until there the order has been prepared, okay. So that one is first thing. And also apart from that, what can be the, what can done here is like for increasing the productivity, the framework of the laws, okay, from this time to this time they can given a flexible time period, right. So the pressure at least will be going down. Then the policymaker should adopt mechanisms, labor protection, okay. Then the third one is about the responsibility of digital platforms. Here comes the major thing, there should be no fast delivery pressure, giving the message to the customers that this will be a peak summers, you have to, like the orders will not be taken for smaller quantities, and the platforms has to work on certain guidelines where the peak time, peak hours can be like skipped, or the lesser orders will be given, okay. Even like around 4 PM 5 PM also they can order, so that there will be the flexibility will be given to the workers as well, okay. Then better departmental coordination where the disaster management and also the healthcare, public healthcare department, and also the climate department and also labor department has to work collaboratively, so that these kind of things will be removed very easily. Okay. So if you see the solutions, okay, here, so if you see, the health department focuses on illness and mortality, disaster management agencies focus on emergency response, but labor departments does not works on these gig workers basic necessities, first thing. And the solutions that they have given here is about, first, heat must be treated as a labor productivity issue that we have discussed, okay, not only a health one, along with that we have to see the productivity and the economical conditions. Second is about, okay, so if there is any higher like income volatility have to be taken, so that the paid leaves, okay, and apart from that the flexibility working hours, okay, and the see, flexibility working hours, like I can skip the orders at this particular time, but what about my income at that time? So instead we can go for like managing the digital platforms, like from this time to like from 12 to 3 for example, they can go for minimal orders, okay, or the resting period they can be given for that day. And third one is about the digital labor platforms, where the heat responsive design as moderating delivery pressure during peak heat hours, or introducing more flexible performances metrics, okay. So this can be given. And stronger institutional coordination is needed, where the labor department, urban local bodies and the disaster management will be collaborating with the workers, where the economical crisis along with that health crisis also will be tackled very easily, okay. Clear till now? So keeping this mind, what we have to do is like, we have to give the we have to give certain things for the gig workers as well, where these people can actually work on, so that their productivity also go up and their income, and also the India's income also, matlab economical things also will be stabilized, okay. Coming to the last one of the day, article of the day, first one is about how AI helped community led development. Here the keyword is community led development, keep that in mind, okay. So basically AI will be used, thank you Venkatatri, okay, thank you for confirming. So the thing is like, so AI generally what we will be using, be it ChatGPT or anything, okay, so to get the information. But here in the Rajasthan case, what they have did, like there was a project like AI for water thing, okay. So water policy, here what they have did, they didn't stop using the AI for taking the information. Instead what they have did is like, see, they have used the AI to understand the local real problems, okay, what the things, how the things are going to work there is, the AI will be used, okay. Then the NGOs have given certain trainings to the volunteers whose name is like Pani Mittars, okay. So they will be understanding the real problems, and they will be giving those theme based queries and questions, and also the answers to those AI based questions, okay. So based upon those responses, the manually added responses, it will be observing the real problems, where in the local dialects also, in Hindi language also, they can actually voice based WhatsApp messages they can give. So based upon that, by understanding that, by understanding the problems, what it will be doing, it will be giving the solutions to those particular Pani methods and also those who are working, okay. So here, rather than the information, it have been gone for the module that actually works, and it gives a solution also. So solution based performance have been taken here, okay. So if you see, in public services, the gap is not only between people and information, it is often between people and the local institutions meant to serve them. So the understanding of the local problems have to be what? Should be there. Unless and until understanding their problems, how much ever better and the best schemes you bring, that is not going to work. Because if I have the problem for connectivity, and you are bringing like 5G and like smartphones and everything to my village, there is no use of it unless and until I get the connectivity. having a smartphone is there is no use of it, right? So understanding the ground reality is much needed. Okay, so here in this case, if you see in Rajasthan, the water stress area like Sirohi and also the Pali district of Rajasthan, okay, there they have started this project AI for water policy, okay, where their water management will be understood, listened by AI, and it will be communicated, the solution, the proper solution will be communicated to people. Okay, so its aim is to give one thing, which is water resilience and the local water governance improvement, where the local body Panchayati Raj will be having a major role here. Okay, so first, if you see from the first particular, like the NGO, which is Center for Microfinance and Technology Partner Collective, okay, these are the people who have collaborated and they have worked for this pilot project, okay, where they got the 352 interviews, around 50 villages, they got the findings, and with that findings we are able to see that, okay, the pride in the results, where we got to know, like earlier the water level was around 150 feet, but now in this summer it have gone to 100 feet, where there is a fall of water level, right? So we are able to, first thing we are able to see, like there is a fall in the water level, and the second thing is about the double burden for women. So when it comes to the double burden for women, along with the households, the caretaking, and also this being, nowadays people are being the breadwinner also, and apart from that, these people are going with higher water crisis, where it is being more often, and it is not being, it is being unspoken. So they are hesitating because of the class, gender, and the community based barrier they face. Okay, so in rural areas, till now all the people will not be going and approaching the government officials. There will be some social barriers as well. Okay, so based upon the class, gender, and also the community, there will be hesitations. One among them is the unspoken voices about the women. There is nobody, like among them they will be talking about like यार इतना दूर तो जाना पड़ रहा है, इतनी गर्मी है बहुत ज़्यादा, एंड वहाँ पर खेते में काम करने के बाद भी इधर आके हमें पानी का वो चक्कर लगाना पड़ रहा है, ये सब कुछ है ना. So these things are being like discussed among the women. Now after this scheme, this have been communicated through the Pani Mitars to the AI, and it have been communicated to the Panchayati Raj workers and also the government officials, the block and rural development officials. They are bringing the solutions there. Okay, so the involvement of human intervention for these kind of like process, it is very effective, and also it is very reliable for the outcome, also. Okay, so the funding and the approval delays. So here it is about, we are having fundings, okay, but how it has been directed, and the approvals for like water pipe connection and everything, that is being questioned here. So the delays in these approvals are making it worse. Okay, and also the social barriers we have talked about. So these are the findings that initially they got it. Okay, so now through this WhatsApp voice based messages and everything, this have been communicated through Pani Mitars to the AI. Now what it is giving, it is giving the solutions for those kind of things where the pause and reflect also will be working. So if you see the pause and reflect, nothing but earlier the Pani Mitars also were not knowing how to do it. Okay, so this flexibility program, what they had, like in the mid of the training cycle, they have stopped it, they have given add-on training, and they have again resumed this project, and now they have given enough knowledge where they will be like first understanding, they will be communicating it to the AI, and it will be giving the necessary solutions, and that will be communicated to whom? Those government officials. Okay, so from now, so responsive system and to active listening system. So if you see the responsive system, if I ask certain questions about information or something, it will be giving me back the answers But when it comes to the active listening system, it understands my problem and it understands my locality. Okay, what is the major defective thing, or what is the major thing that is missing over there, and it will be helpful for us to improve there. So this is kind of a active learning, active listening system, where your problems are being understood and also it will be given a proper solution. Okay. So voice based WhatsApp channel will be there. Pani Mathas will be telling the problems, themes across conversations, and it will be redesigning. Okay, so it will be giving the solutions for them. So here if you see, even in Jal Jeevan system and also VBG Ramji, so here also we can use it, because if you see the Jal Jeevan, if you remember in the February, before February, around December at that times, okay, so we got the things like implementation. There are certain areas where 100% implementation have been done, but the water supply has not been properly, like in UPN areas 80%, 88% it is a incomplete infrastructure of Jal Jeevan, right? So these kind of things what we can see. So for understanding this, the volunteers will be given the training and they will be understanding the problem and they will be putting all those queries for this AI, and immediately it will be giving the resolutions where you don't want to wait for coding or something. In on a real time basis you will be getting the solutions. Okay, so that is what been given. So empowerment, here in this areas they have said the findings. One is pride in the result, double burden for women, and also fundings and approval delays. Okay, and apart from that they have given that I told you, no, like in the mid of like the pause and reflect, where we don't want to give unqualified things to get the quality based outcomes. So we are just stopping there, we are reviving their training, and with clear cut definitions we are sending them back to the project. So they will be working upon there. So this have been discussed here, and also listening with intent, where we have talked about the responsive system and the active listening system, where they will be like algorithms will be used, and also there will be proper communication, the resolutions will be communicated. Okay. Here empower, not replace, here it is talking about the human intervention, where so these kind of AI modules, those who are giving the resolutions, they will be to understand the real ground realities. Okay, so there we need a human intervention. So there we will be empowering human force, and they will be giving the training to work along with this AI things, instead of completely taking out of the human touch in all those technologies. Okay, so this is what been discussed here. So if you see, if AI can bring this kind of resolutions, so it is good in a way, right? So major thing is about like AI, see, whatever the science is, whatever the technology is, without human intervention it is not going to give a real outcome, which is a feasible outcome. So we definitely need what? This human intervention. So AI, from just getting information to the solution based, and also the like actual the problem is being fixed through these things, then that is a very good thing. Okay, so I hope it is clear for the day, and that's it for the day. If you have any doubt, please let me know, otherwise we will wind up the session. Okay, so if there is any doubt from the day, I hope there is no doubt. Okay, then thank you so much. Thank you, Rishi. Okay, we will see in the next session. Thank you so much. All the very best.